With £200, I set up my dog grooming business 27 years ago. Now, what I bought 27, 30 odd years ago, I could buy today and do exactly the same thing for about £350. And what happened? I had a good job, but I wasn't actually very good at it. And my grandma, she didn't have much money, but she said, I thought you liked dog grooming. Because I've been on a 3-year animal care course, kennel and cattery management and dog grooming. Did dog grooming one morning every week for 2 years at the college. It was dogs from the village would come up, and it wasn't a very good dog grooming course. It was like 1 foot, 4 people on one dog, 1 foot each type of thing. And I said, well, to my grandma, well, yeah, I did like dog grooming. She goes, well, how about, and she wasn't very rich, didn't have loads of money. She says, how about I give you £200 and you could set up your dog grooming business so you can give up that job? Which, I got a company car, but I just was not very good at it. Sales. So with my 200 quid my grandma gave me, I got some Oster A5 golden dog clippers for £84.95. About 150 quid they are now. I don't want to touch them with a barge pole ever again, those clippers. You used to need oven gloves to use those Oster A5 clippers. The equivalent is the Andis, which is what I use. So I bought a set of Oster A5 golden, which came with a free 10 blade. So with that 10 blade, I would have a blade for doing base, feet and tail on the poodles. Because in them days, 27 years ago, your main grooming dogs were poodles, cavaliers, westies, cockers, shih tzus, breeds like that. And then I bought a 7 and a 5 blade. Now what the mistake I made there was I bought a skip tooth 7 and a 5. So what I would do, ideally you would buy a 7FC and a 5FC now. So what I had was a blade, the 7 for your shave-offs or your spaniel cut, and then the 5 for your westies, your shih tzus. If they wanted it leaving a little bit longer, I had a 5. And then if they wanted it even longer than that, I'd skim it with 7. I bought some nail clippers, guillotine style, bring those up. Some clip stop, just in case I cut the nails. Some scissors. Just basic scissors, what we're going to do everything. Cheap scissors. I bought bog standard brush, bog standard slicker brush. Not too hard, not too soft, one just in between. A steel comb and a book. That was it. That's what I got with my 200 quid. The book was notes from the grooming table. Now they're on the 2nd edition now. Mine was the 1st edition, spiral bound book. And the good thing with that book is that it's sort of wipeable. So you could have it on the grooming table, and if the dog splashed on it or anything, you could wipe it down. So that's what I got. I didn't get a bath, I didn't get a table, and I didn't get a hairdryer. What I did was I used my own hairdryer. I used a bath in my mum's bathroom, because I actually used my mum's bathroom, because I was still living at home, as the dog grooming room, and I found a table. A wooden table, which I can only describe as like an old-fashioned pine kitchen table, and I made a H-frame, which is what this is, out of wood. I banged these pieces of wood into the side of this old pine table with this big split through the middle, and banged, it was more like a U than a H. I had no nooses, any of these. And what I would do, I'd have the dog on a lead, the dog lead, slip lead, show lead, and I'd spin it round on here. And that was my restraint 27 years ago. And that's exactly how I started my dog grooming business, which you can probably do for about 350 quid now. Now, I could groom, so I didn't have to go on a course for my marketing. Here I am. I called myself K9 Cuts. That was my business name. K9 CUTZ. Canine Cuts. There was a dog house down the road, she'd been established. So I thought I'd call myself Canine Cuts, and I got some postcards. Dog grooming service, Canine Cuts, Rebecca, my phone number, where I was. And I went round all the local shops. It was about 20p a week to advertise in like the post office, your supermarket, wherever they had a board to put your, your services. And I got some dogs coming in. I was doing all right upstairs in my mum's bathroom. I mean, there were dog hairs stuck to the bathroom wall. It was ridiculous. You couldn't get them off. A bit like in here. Once it gets damp, nothing's coming off the walls. Yeah, doing all right. To my mum's friend, she's my friend as well, she still comes to me every so often for the show dogs. Her son had got this Springer, and now he was a massive Springer. Strong show dog, and they decided they weren't going to show him anymore. And she said to me, he comes over to see my mum, he says, will you clip fudge off? Yeah, of course I will. So I clip the dog. Bear in mind, I've got no blaster. I bath him, towel dry him in the bath, get as much water off as I can, because I'm now going to use my hairdryer to dry him, which I've managed doing all these little dogs with. And I spin the lead over, and he takes one almighty leap off the table, took the bar from the top with him, the two sides collapsed, the table split in half, and the legs fell off the table, right? It's hilarious to think, I mean, we still laugh about it, about Fudge, what he did to my grooming table. They came running upstairs, my mum and a friend. The dog, I'd released him from the bit of wood he's still stuck to. He's happy as Larry running around, splashing water everywhere because he's soaking wet. And they come up and they just want to burst out laughing because there's a pile of firewood on my table. I'm nearly crying because I've got no table. And that's how I started my dog grooming business. And all these years on, and now here, 4.5 years ago I set this particular one up here, which is sort of exactly my vision all them years ago in that bathroom of how my dog grooming business would have been. In between there, so not much longer, I got something to use as a table. I didn't have a proper table still. Something to use as a table to keep me going. I then moved out and I had a house with my boyfriend, and he didn't even like the dogs much at all grooming. And I used to groom in the garage, take the dog upstairs into the house when he was at work so I could groom the dogs, bath them upstairs, bring them back down, finish them in the garage. But what I'd also used to do, so clients didn't know how I was doing it, because I'd turn up and it was just like this IKEA bench I got for 40 quid, dead thin, to groom the dogs on. That was it, and a grooming box and a dryer. I used to go and collect all the dogs and deliver them so that they couldn't see how I was grooming the dogs. I did that for a bit. Then I bought a boarding kennels, cattery and grooming parlour, an established business. Shut the grooming about 11 years ago to that business for different reasons. And then 4.5 years ago, set this up, which cost me 5.5 grand to set up when I came here, which has a hydro bath worth 2.5 grand. I bought a dryer for £1,000, which you don't need to waste money like that on. I got a lot of my grooming equipment. I bought new clippers again. You always need new clippers and blades, plenty of clippers. But yeah, finally got it out exactly how I would have wanted it. So don't expect when you start any kind of business to start, there you go, blow all your money at it. Because yeah, if I was completely skint, had no money, and thought, well, I'm going to make a little bit of money by dog grooming, I could groom then. I've not listed it here, but I guess, I don't need the book either, I know what I'm doing. 350 quid, I could start grooming again in my house with a hairdryer and a crap table, probably. But you, if you've never groomed before, I suggest you go on a course. I've not got no course to sell you. I don't teach people, I don't want to. A practical, hands-on course is what you need. None of this online stuff for dog grooming. You need hands-on, practical experience. I'm not saying you've got to go and get qualified. I'm saying you need to learn how to groom, then go and set up your business. If you can groom, if you can see it, if you can see the balance within a dog, if you can see what that dog's going to look like in your head before you even touch it, you'll be fine. Dogs will keep coming back and you'll do all right out of it. But if you go and get your certificate and think you can groom and cannot connect with people when they come through that door, cannot understand what they want, whether they can have it or not, you know, if their dog's matted up and they want it looking like a show dog, it ain't going to happen. And you can explain that to them. If you can do that, explain to them and understand what they want, you'll be fine. You will do absolutely fine. You do not need to spend a fortune. It's just going to make your life a hell of a lot easier by having something like the hydro bath. Well, I get nothing for telling you that's amazing. That is amazing. I groomed in my mum's bath on my knees. You know, bath dogs in my mum's bath on my knees. And then groomed in another house bath. I mean, you can go to the tip and get a house bath, put it on bricks, where you go get the dog in the bath. Still, there's another one what I've had to put bath dogs in, and that is a £5 bathtub for dogs. It wasn't labelled as bathtub. It was pretty much as big as this table, a plastic tub where someone's mate will put a hole in it as a drain and connected a bit of a shower to it, on bricks with a cupboard, so now you can't even get your feet under it. Now I can bath in any of them. That, the crap bath, the home bath, the dog is going to look exactly the same because I'm doing it. But the difference there is how I'm going to feel when I wake up the next morning. When I wake up, when I've been grooming dogs and bathing dogs in there, I feel fine. The others, I feel like I've been run over by a bus. And if you do that for year after year after year, by using inappropriate equipment, you're going to know about it. You're going to wake up and think you've got no hands. And you will shit yourself when that happens. When you wake up and physically think you have no hands and have to look at your hands to make sure they're still there. From not doing things right, from not having the right tables, what go up and down, from not easy accessible baths. There's no point in having steps. Steps to a bath, a dog will not go in it. Any dog who knows they're going in the bath are not just going to walk up the steps nice and easy for you. You are going to have to lift the dog into the bath. So just bear that in mind when you're thinking about setting up your business. But yeah, I do find it, I only work part-time. I groom mainly spaniels and setters. I can groom anything. But within the time frame I have to groom, which is in school hours, I will groom spaniels and setters. I do groom other breeds. I've got Shih Tzus coming in, Westies, your usual. But yeah, that is mine. I'm a breed specialist for the setters. There you go. That's my dog grooming business, and I did start it with 200 quid from my grandma, which I didn't have to pay her back.